Hello.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi.
Hiya, you okay? Welcome to the stream. What we're talking about today is suggestion effects on paranormal investigation. We've got John with us. Now, John, where should you have been tonight?
I should have been on the mud flats on a World War II motor launch on the River Dee, but unfortunately the weather's not quite up for ripping the roof off it.
That's where John should have been tonight, doing a live feed from the boat. But unfortunately, the weather's gone against him, and he set it up.
Put pay to that. So here instead, at least it's warmer here, and the internet's a little bit better.
Do you want to tell us a bit about the boat, John?
Yeah, mate. It's an 1943 Harbour Defence motor launch. Some friends have got it. You've got a YouTube channel, Ship Happens. I don't know if anyone else is watching it. Where basically they've given themselves, I think it's about 6 years to go from what's essentially a derelict. It floats, it's not sunk or anything like that, to something that can join in the 85th celebrations of D-Day. They want to sail it from sunny northwest all the way down to Normandy on the 85th celebration. So pitch in and give them a hand every so often.
So disappointed you're not there tonight. I expected you to do a live stream. You'd be going up and down like this.
I'd have just done that anyway, but it made
me feel better. You'd be a Storm Force 10 gale and you'd be being sick every 5 minutes. So that made this stream quite interesting. So I'm a bit disappointed, really, mate.
Oh, I'm sorry, mate. I'll try for the next time. All right.
So there we go. Can you hear me all right, Caroline? Caroline's having a few sound problems, so we don't know if she'll be able to keep up. You all right for now? Yeah.
It's quite patchy.
Is it? Okay.
But we'll see how it goes.
See how you go on, yeah. So we'll get into our main topic, talking about how suggestion or prior knowledge can affect us on an investigation and how did this affect us at the Agent Ramin. So if you have any comments on the subject or it has affected you in some way, please comment or join us in the stream if you want to. Or if you want to join us or chat anything else paranormal, feel free to comment also below. So the suggestion for us, I think before we went to the Agent Ramin, taking away our beliefs of the paranormal, was the huge amount of media attention the location has got from YouTube videos and also activity paranormal groups have allegedly witnessed there. And also its reputation as being one of the most haunted houses in England and possibly Europe, some might say. So I decided to take John with me to the Ramin and wanted to know if the suggestion from the location would affect him. So John, what was your pre-thoughts before you even set foot in the building?
I'd done some rooting and digging about on it because with the significance of the place, I didn't want to go in completely clueless about what to expect. You directed us towards YouTube videos, some stuff online, and I watched it and I was like, wow, this should be something special. Had some trepidation when we got there because the way the place is set up, plus tied into what you've seen before, it kind of like it auto suggests that something's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I had a little bit of knowledge about the various different rooms, but unfortunately, as people who may have seen the video saw, then not a lot happened.
It didn't for us, did it, mate? Unfortunately,
no.
Well, I think that's the thing, isn't it? You watch all these videos and stuff on, and you go with the expectation because everybody else has had experiences, and you go thinking, well, this place is active. There's so much in the media about it, and you go expecting. Well, you come away disappointed if nothing happens, basically, don't you? To be honest.
Yeah, you do. You expect something certainly, and then kind of like when it doesn't happen, it's like, oh, right, okay. But it is what it is, isn't it? But I'm not doubting other people who've put their experiences on YouTube, but it does leave a lot of questions about some of the things that they've said and some of the things that they've done or supposedly seen. But I don't know. Maybe it's just a really quiet night when we went. Awesome venue, though. Fantastic venue.
I think if you convince yourself a place is haunted, there's a good chance you're going to experience something anyway in that place because you believe it, or you read it in the media, or you've seen it on YouTube. You've got to expect something to happen. You think something will happen. I think a lot of people will probably go, especially people who believe in the paranormal, and they will have an experience there, whether it's paranormal or not. because that's just what they're expecting to happen in that location.
I don't know. I mean,
What's that? Is that a ghost?
who knows?
What was that?
This Caroline just moved. Is it her bones creaking?
What was that noise?
No, I haven't got a clue.
Was it your house? Wasn't here.
It wasn't here.
I didn't hear anything.
I could hear it coming through the speakers on here, so I don't know.
I did. It sounded like somebody just been murdered.
I didn't hear anything.
I'll have to play that back later. I don't know.
It's going to be something really boring.
You got an EVP on the stream.
I think I need to move if we do.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I really don't know what that was. Don't know. No idea.
Hopefully you can hear it later, Caroline, when it's finished.
Hopefully, yeah.
That was.
Yeah.
It was like, I thought it was like a car or something, or kids at yours outside, John.
Yeah. No, mate, I heard it coming through the speakers on here.
No idea.
I didn't hear anything.
That's me and John talking about the Asian Ramen. See, he wasn't involved. So we're getting.
I know, yeah. I wasn't there.
They followed us.
4 months after the investigation, and we've now been spooked from the Asian Ramen.
They followed us, mate.
Well, I think it's fair to say, though, that the effects of suggestion, to be honest, vary depending on the person's beliefs. And I think people who believe in the paranormal are more prone to having paranormal phenomena happen, while skeptics will deny the existence of the paranormal together, and they don't really get anything. So I do think a lot of it is your own personal beliefs in a location.
Yeah.
If it's going to happen.
I think
I
Caroline's
can remember.
probably the best, to answer this, aren't you?
I can remember one time this woman contacting my group because she'd had what she thought was paranormal phenomena happening in her flat. She was convinced something was happening. So we went around to investigate. And as soon as we walked in, we could see that there was rows and rows and rows of DVDs of horror films and paranormal films. And straight away, we didn't say anything to her, but if that was something she was really, really interested in, horror films, films on the paranormal, you've got some kind of like predisposition, some kind of interest in it. So it's bound to influence you, isn't it, really?
Yeah, definitely.
I suppose the same, if you, watch videos about particular, locations, and, before I went to Newsham Park, I'd heard lots of things about what had happened in different places. And, East Drive, for example, with the Black Monk, if you're hearing all of this, then I do think it can influence you to what you experience or what you interpret that you've experienced whilst you're there. But at the same time, it could actually work in an investigator's favour, because if, for example, a few groups have been getting a particular name or something like that in a place, and a group goes in and calls out that same name and tries to connect with that same spirit, then if a spirit does exist and it's that one all these other groups are claiming it is, then that could helps, more communication with groups. So I suppose there's arguments for and against, really, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, East Drive's another classic, isn't it, for suggestion?
Yeah.
Roll up the hype. Yeah. You put on Facebook, don't you? Every 5 minutes, it's East Drive, 30 East Drive. You got the film, you got everything else that's gone on there. And again, it's a bit like the Ancient Ramen. The Ancient Ramen's old, it's famous, and it's the same as East Drive. And that's it's another place I'd love to do. I'd love to do East Drive just to say I've done it, and just to see if I do get anything myself there personally.
Yeah.
You said it was all booked in, Caroline, didn't you say that you were?
Yeah. By the time you said you'd booked the time off, I emailed them straight away. It took them a week to get back to me to say that date had gone. So we're looking at 2023 now.
Sorry.
So we need to get it booked really for next year, don't we? As soon as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
pick a date
So
and then
you've potentially got another venue, haven't you, on the same date, Phil? But that's not confirmed yet, has it?
I'm
We're just
not
looking for
confirmed
numbers.
because it might be sold. So I don't know, which is going to be a bit of a pain for you, I know. But if they
Oh,
sell,
well, more
if they
time off.
sell, it's a place me and Caroline have been to, so we had quite a good night, really, didn't we, Caroline?
Yeah, really
I think
good.
we got left in the building, just the two of us as well, didn't we? Which was
Yeah.
fantastic. I think we thought we heard a baby cry, didn't we? Was it down in the cellar, or was it just no? It was just outside the cellar, outside where the ballroom was. And we thought we heard that baby cry, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
had experience on the dance floor.
Yeah. And also we heard jingling as we walked into one particular room.
That was the
and there was chains around the wardrobe, wasn't there?
That's right. There's a honeymoon suite, wasn't it? That.
Crikey.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's one hell of a honeymoon, isn't it?
Well, we tried. We thought it was just entering the room, no, just by walking. And I think you jumped up and down on the floor, didn't you, Caroline, to see we replicate it, and it didn't happen. Did
and
it?
The whole building collapsed.
And now it's derelict.
It was a going concern prior to that.
Yeah.
So going back to the issue, I mean, well, anyway, was you disappointed?
Yes
Afterwards.
and no. I'll be honest, because like I kind of lived all my life with what happened based on fact. Do you know what I mean? Or I always want an explanation for something. I won't. Sorry, am I boring you?
No, sorry, I'm just really tired. You're not. I tried my hardest to disguise that then.
It's all right. And one of the previous things, as you know, something happened on a stairway somewhere, and I was like, ooh, and I couldn't explain that one.
Yeah.
That was that bunker, wasn't it? Hat Green.
Hat Green bunker.
Yeah, and I went to the Ram Inn. I'd read it all, so hopefully something was going to happen. It didn't happen, but it also, so that was the disappointing bit, that nothing happened. But it was also not disappointing because it had been so easy, especially when you went for a snooze in the car, to have let the environment and the place then get to you. But I just...
Yeah, but
go on.
When I left for the car, when I actually left you on your own, I honestly thought you'd have more experiences because I had left.
No.
But you did. No, I know you didn't. Yeah, but I honestly expected that once I'd left the building that you would have felt different. But
I've said on one of the videos, my outlook changed. I wasn't quite as brave.
Yeah.
With challenges.
With your questions. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I wasn't quite as not confrontational. I wasn't quite, I'll say brave with the way that I was calling out. Yeah. But I'd say that bit was disappointing, the fact that nothing happened, but it was also not disappointing to know that going with like a factual sort of head, then if you know what it is, having the factual head also proved that I wasn't open to the power of auto-suggestion. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because I as you know, I went on my own, and the suggestion was there for me, and I honestly thought I had cat me out. I honestly did. But was that just suggestion because I knew about the cat before I went? I don't know. I've really no idea. I couldn't tell you.
I mean, there's a group of explorers in particular who's like, oh my God, did you see the cat? Yeah. And you're like, I'm not going to swear, obviously, but, looking at them with a raised eyebrow, saying something not particularly pleasant towards that experience. But I think some of the people who've been there did play up to the reputation before. Yeah. Did you go, Caroline?
Where?
Ancient Ram Inn?
No, never been.
It's too far for her.
No.
Is it? One day.
One day I'll get there.
John,
when I'm invited.
John, why are you on? I want to do Woodchester Mansion.
Oh yeah, are we on for it?
That's near the ancient ram inn, apparently.
Oh, is it?
I'd like to do that.
Okay. Let's look into it then. And we'll look to do that. You coming for the trip, Caroline? Maybe.
Not that far.
Yeah, you didn't need your passport when you went to Derby, did you?
Hey, I need my passport to get out of the village I live in to go anywhere.
See, that was another place, wasn't it? Derby Jail. You know, talking about suggestion, because that's quite a famous place. And we went to Derby Jail, didn't we? And the first time I went with you, Caroline, you heard those
footsteps, which were just amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and then we went back with you, John, didn't we? It was a very quiet night.
Yeah.
Apart from it,
I think you and John are a blocker. I think you two are blockers.
I know you keep saying that.
Sorry.
I'm only joking. I don't really.
No, I don't mind, honestly. I mean, like I said, I've not really had anything happen to me to put me in a position to be as sensitive to things that happen as you are, Caroline. Do you know what I mean? You've obviously experienced a lot more, because I'm still new to this. I've only done about 4 or 5 experiences with you. And maybe I don't know what I'm listening for. Maybe there was all sorts of things happening when you were sat in the car, and I'm just like,
but nothing really happens to me. Nothing really happens to me at all. You know, I have feelings sometimes, but there again, I just think that's down to my own mindset. Because it's weird, isn't it? I'm quite skeptical. I'm open to the belief that I wouldn't be doing these things. But when I did that live, I think it was the castle down south, and the medium came on. She said to me that she sensed a vicar in the chair. Now, that chair was in my bedroom where I was sleeping that night. And even to me, it was on my mind. Every time I looked towards that chair, I was expecting to see this vicar with his pipe.
Yeah.
And it did play on my mind. And things don't really affect me like that, as you know. I'll go anywhere on my own. It doesn't bother me. But even that night, it affected me slightly. I kept expecting to see this vicar sat in the chair. I did, honestly. And it kept me awake.
Which is it?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, that's suggestion as well, isn't it? What somebody else has just told. Because I think when you go on the investigation, you've got like 3 categories, haven't you? You've got the full believer, where suggestion will have a big part. And if a medium says that chair's just moved over there, they'll honestly think they've seen it move. Or if they say there's a man in the corner watching them, they'll feel that person. Whatever you like on the EMF is a spirit. Then you've got like the fence sitting. We are probably, where we're open to the possibility, but we'll always look for the logical explanation. And then you got the third lot, which is probably the skeptics and cynics. And if a ghost went in front of them and went boo, they probably still wouldn't believe. I think you got like tears on an investigation, personally.
Yeah.
Going back to that first tier you mentioned with the likes of the mediums and the psychics, I haven't got anything against mediums and psychics whatsoever, but on a personal basis, I would rather go on an investigation without one.
Yeah. But a lot of people wouldn't, would they? Because they like that excitement, they like that suggestion, they like a bit of, I don't know what it is. A bit of excitement, to be honest. But a medium in an investigation can change a whole investigation, especially if you've got a room full of believers.
Yeah.
Where would you place yourself on that scale, Caroline? Because I know I've been on. I know I've been on investigations with you, where you said there's someone. Was it Blackpool Cinema? We were stood in the room with all the clothes and everything in, and you were saying I can sense someone's moving around behind me. And so where would you place yourself? Obviously, I'm not saying you're a medium or a spiritualist or anything like that, but where would you place yourself with your with your beliefs and your feelings on that?
I would definitely say I'm on the fence, most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. most definitely. It's like any feelings we get, can we really explain them? Do you know what I mean? If I say I can sense somebody behind me, or I can sense somebody or something around me, I don't know what it is. I'm just telling people what I'm feeling at that moment in time.
Right.
It may not necessarily be paranormal, but this is why on an investigation, you need to be as open as possible. You need to say what you see and, say what you hear and how you're feeling, because other people may have seen, heard, and felt the same as you.
And but they won't say about it. They don't feel comfortable enough to say something.
Yeah. It's about being open and honest when you go on investigations, really.
Which we are, really, aren't we, to be honest?
Yeah, but I'm on about, how we feel, whether we, how we feel about something, or maybe if we just seen something, or, I heard something, anybody else hear it? It's about perhaps finding that common link, which then can perhaps, put us on the path to either debunking it, what we heard, felt, or saw, or maybe taking us a step further to perhaps, maybe it is evidence of the paranormal.
Has your thoughts on the paranormal changed over the last 5-6 years or so?
Mine?
Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
I wouldn't.
From your early days ago, have they changed much? Has your thoughts changed much? Has your theories changed much? In beliefs?
I do think in my early days, when we did have a particular medium / psychic involved, I do think I listened to them too much, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I do think that they had a big impact upon the way the investigation went and what people were believing. I've now learnt to just go off my own opinions, really, and my own beliefs, and not to be influenced too much by other people, basically, one way or the other.
And I think the more you do, the more you get hardened to, and the more you learn. Because I remember, you'll laugh at this. I've probably never told you this, but the first investigation I ever did was at Tutby Castle.
Was where? Sorry.
Tutby Castle in Stafford.
Okay.
And I'd never been on one before, and I was expecting loads to happen. And I was in the Undercroft. I thought I'd had my shirt suddenly gone like that. My shirt was pulled. We had a seance where we never stopped shaking. But now looking back, I just think it was because of my first investigation. I don't think it was anything paranormal at all. But the difference of how I felt doing that first investigation to what I am now is totally different. Totally different. But then again, I went with the expectation. That was probably the expectation of the TV series Most Haunted. Watching that for them years, and you go again expecting it to be like the TV. People like have asked to come on my investigations, and I say to them straight away, if you think it's going to be like the TV, don't bother. And I'm being honest. I'm not being nasty. But if you think it's going to be like the television, it's not going to be.
You said that at the start of the videos for the Ramin, didn't you? If you're expecting excitement and massive adventures, turn off now.
Yeah, exactly. I was just being truthful,
Yeah.
No, I remember doing a place in Lancashire ages ago, and I was only like 13 years old, and it was in the media. It was all over the radio. And don't forget, this was the days before Most Haunted and all these paranormal programs. And I managed to gain access to the location. And I went with so much expectation about that place. How far wrong I was. I was so wrong. And again, you see there was a poltergeist, what was supposed to be in the kitchen in that building. And it was about 2:00 in the morning. And they were doing a seance with a Ouija board outside the kitchen area. And the pots rattled. in the kitchen. So everybody just jumped up, so excited. That's the poltergeist in the kitchen. There it is. It's happening. And I went in the kitchen. I sat there for 30 minutes, and when the fridge did its recycle thingy, the fridge rattled.
Yeah.
The pots rattled in the fridge. I went in and told them, and the look of disgust on the faces at me was as if to say, "You're a party people," but that was the truth. Now, if I hadn't gone in and investigated, that would have been another story. Just gone into the media of the poltergeist in the kitchen when it wasn't. It was the pot rattled as the fridge did its recycle thingy.
Yeah.
How many stories over the years, these locations as well. How many stories have actually just been built up? And a bit like Chinese whispers, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how long, you said you were 13. How long have you been doing this for then?
Since about 2003. But I've always been interested in. Obviously, I didn't do it when I was 13, but it was a place even at 13 I wanted to go to because it was all over the news. It was they did charity nights there, and I think it was like what's that hospital up near Preston? Is it what's it called? It used to be the psychiatric place.
Ashworth.
Not Ashworth,
No.
that's Liverpool. Right, not Wrightington. Something beginning with W. I can't remember anyway. But some nurses went in there and did a sponsored stay-in, and apparently 2 of them actually collapsed on the floor. So I say it was a place that was in the media years ago. I say well before the times of Most Haunted. And it was a place I've always gone to since I was 13. And I say I managed to get in it, and I was so disappointed. But
Yeah.
there you go.
What about you, Caroline? How long have you been
What?
chasing ghosts, seeking the paranormal?
I've been a member of a group, and there's 3 of us all together, probably for about 7 years now. Yeah. So there's me, there's another girl called Mandy, another girl called Jo. So we've got a group which is more local. We don't go too far out of, our local area. We've not done much since before lockdown, really, with one thing and another. But yeah, I've been in that group. Well, all 3 of us have been in that group now for about 7 years, I think it is. Yeah.
Go on, give me the plug, Caroline.
It's called Haunted Southport Private Paranormal Investigations. There's 3 of us. There's Jo, there's Mandy, and there's myself. And the 3 of us are just great together. We work so well together. We've all got slightly different beliefs as well. And we just complement each other really, really well. And the way we work is really good as well. So
I think you do find you get better with some people than others, don't you?
Yeah, most definitely.
I find that. But it's like when me and you went to Ramjohn, it was quite a long. Do you know what I mean? We haven't really done a lot together, have we? And it went so quick. We had an 8-hour drive in the car together, didn't we? We spent 6 or 7 hours there, and it just flew. Time just flew. But
it did fly. It really, genuinely did. It was just there. As I say, that even the journey to and from, they didn't seem to take that long. I mean, admittedly, I wasn't driving. I was being a lazy guy, but I stayed awake. I didn't snore away while you were driving.
And he made me coffee all night, didn't you?
Well, I tried to, even though you got your head down.
It was in that barn area, wasn't it? Was it the barn area you didn't like? Because you'd read up a lot about that. Was it Edward? Was it something called?
I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah, he was meant to be 7 foot tall or something, wasn't he? And I'm worried about that.
Yeah, I remember you saying you were there, weren't you? This Edward's going to come. How did you feel on your own in there about Edward when I'd gone?
Mate, I was absolutely fine, to be honest with you. It was like, apart from when you spoke on the bloody radio, I could call up anyone there, and then you go, I'm like, oh shit.
I was so pissed off. I was expecting you to come out and say, I can't do this. I was so disappointed.
No, it was all right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had some feelings of trepidation going in there initially, but it's like, you just do it, don't you? You go in. It's you're not being truthful to yourself, and you're not giving the venue and the location a chance to be its best if you're not, if you don't do these things, do you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do it, Caroline, by yourself? Or
Yeah.
not? You go in by yourself all night and do it?
Oh, all night? No, because I get bored and lonely. Not because I'm scared.
You said, didn't you? You said you get bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, John said he get bored.
No, it's kind of like you. Sorry, go on.
It's like the thing with the paranormal. I can't remember the last time I went on an investigation, and I thought, you know what, that was a fantastic night with regards to paranormal, activity. But every so often, you do get some evidence which does blow you away, and it makes it all worthwhile. Regardless of how many hours I can sit there and how many investigations I can go on, I don't think I'd ever get bored of doing them, because you just never know when something's going to happen.
Yeah. So you do get a little bit
disheartened.
Yeah, it's kind of like you go somewhere and you're like,
yeah,
okay. I mean, we were kind of like, it doesn't come through on film, but we were kind of, at the end of it, we were probably goading the spirits of the ramen, weren't we? It's like, come on then.
Yeah. And as I said, it's because of all the attention it's had as well. You expect it, don't you? See, I'm doing a place in a couple of months, and I'm quite looking forward to doing it because it's not like on the paranormal radar. And do you know what? I'm just as excited about doing that than something that isn't in the media.
Yeah.
I sometimes find over the years that the places I've been looking forward to doing, then I come away disappointed. Yet the places I think, oh, I can't be asked for this. Nothing's going to happen. Sometimes it does.
You just never know, do you?
No, so I'm just hoping on this nightclub something does happen. We'll see what happens.
Was that place at the end of the month, isn't it? That we're going to. That's not. Yeah, that's not massive, is it? It's not.
I think it is quite big. I think there has, yeah.
No, I've clearly not looked in the right place. In fact, I wasn't going to look on that one. I was going to go in kind of blind on that one.
I think it has got quite a bit of a checkered history, to be honest. And that was a family. I think it was a family home, and then that was a nightclub at some point as well.
So we'll end up sticking to the carpets then, yeah, if it's a nightclub.
Yeah.
I've never been, so I honestly don't know. But it's a place that I've always wanted to go to and do. So I'm looking forward to it. And I said the following night I'm going to Stoke, so
I'm in work the day after that, unfortunately.
So busy. But I'm looking forward to it. I am. So plenty of editing for me to do.
Keep me busy.
And John's bought new cameras, haven't you, John?
Well, very good. Excellent.
They weren't new. But if I get fed up with it, Phil, I'll donate them to the cause. All right.
You won't get fed up. You won't.
Nah.
This is it, Phil, right? When you go on your investigations on your own, if something were to happen, would you not? There'd be nobody there to verify it.
But in that respect, if there was 5 people there who were phonies, they could verify it anyway, who weren't even real, if you know what I mean. I'm sure if something happened to me, you would believe me, John would believe me.
I believe you.
I'm sure
I would believe you. I don't mean verify.
You couldn't prove it, could it? You couldn't show it.
I don't mean verify as in, prove that you're not lying about it, but verify it as in, that you weren't mistaken, that it was definitely that, what you're claiming's happened.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can only just go off my experiences while I'm there. That's all I can do. I'll always tell the truth, how I feel, and that's all I can do. It's like
that certain person who we won't mention. One of his kind of like ways. One of his ways to validate a paranormal experience, straight away he says that more than one person has experienced it at the same time. If only one person has experienced it, he says straight away it's not evidence.
Yeah.
Do you know where I'm coming from?
I know where you're coming from. It's probably right, to be honest. But that's actually saying something. But if I heard noises or something, that'd be on camera. Like when I was at the castle and I heard them 2 big bangs on the door.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I can't verify there, if anyone think I was lying, was there was nobody else with me, which there wasn't. You know what I mean? You could always say that about anything, couldn't you?
Mm.
To be honest.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, verify as in.
If seen something, you mean? If you actually saw a ghost. Yeah.
That's what I meant. I didn't mean verify that nobody would believe you.
Yeah.
I meant verify as in, if more than one person experiences it or sees something, then it's more verifiable to be paranormal then, isn't it? Because how annoyed would you be if you did see a full-on body apparition, you were on your own and you didn't get it on camera? How annoyed would you be?
I would be annoyed, but for me personally, I know I would have experienced it, and I would have probably questioned it afterwards as well, to say, was it me or is it something else going on? I would certainly question it, and like you say, it'd been great if somebody had been there to say, yeah, I saw that. Like when we was at Morecambe, Winter Gardens, years ago, and we were doing the lit walk around, like a pre-security thing, so all the lights were on, and we looked up at one of the boxes, the old theatre boxes.
Yeah.
And I saw like a hooded figure do that behind the curtain. And Steph was at the side of me, and she looked at me, and I didn't say anything. I said to Steph, I said, what have you just seen? And she said, I've just seen a black hooded figure peek around the corner of the curtain.
Is that something other people have claimed to have experienced at Morecambe, do you know?
No idea.
You don't know.
The only rational explanation I can come with it was somebody pissing around at the theatre, but I wouldn't expect them to do that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Both saw it. Definitely both saw it. There's that noise again. Are you hearing noises again, John?
I heard noises again, Phil.
Me too. Yeah, so I don't know. That's the only thing I can say I've actually seen. But whether it's somebody taking a piss, I wouldn't know. I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
The only thing, you go on about me being alone as well, about not being able to verify it. But in a way, if I'm on my own and I hear things, or I hear knocking, or I hear a voice, I know it's not anybody else because there's only me there. So in a way, to me, on a personal level, that is good evidence for me, because I know I can't say, was that somebody moving the feet, or was that somebody's belly rumbling, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
If I hear something, it's not me, and I know there's nobody else in that building.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to be asking those questions, are you? Was that you? Did you just move your feet then, or?
Yeah, which can get really frustrating sometimes, can't? Even if people don't mean to move, and it's like there's always somebody with a rumbly tummy, and that is really annoying as well.
It is. You think I've just got the voice,
Yeah,
and you haven't, because it's just somebody tummy rumbling.
Yeah.
So in a way, I know what you're saying about verifying if I've actually seen something, but in a way, on a personal level, for me, I find it quite exciting.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
So has anyone else actually been watching this, Phil, or has it just been the three of us chatting?
There's one watching now. No, there's one. Now there's three before. I really been keeping an eye on it, to be honest. Don't know. 3 or 4. Don't know.
Oh well.
So anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to say?
I don't know, really.
I'll go and rip some roof off a boat tomorrow, and I'll send you some photos of all the old hooks and bits and everything about that. It's a spooky place. Not spooky. That's the wrong word. Ethereal. When you're just left with carcasses of old boats and things like that just lying around that have been abandoned for years, all covered in sand and like marsh grass and that. It's
quite eerie.
It's evocative. But
and I suppose where it's moored up, it's quite eerie too, isn't it? You'll hear every sound, won't you?
Absolutely.
Every little seabird kind of thing.
Yeah, we spent it when we've done like long weekends there. You spend the night there, especially if there's water. The noise of the water making bashing against the hull, it's like crikey.
See, I must admit, I like doing outdoor investigations, but the only problem with that is you're not in a very controlled environment, and you don't know what other members of the public are out there.
Yeah,
Like investigating graveyards or woods or something. You don't know what other people are out there, like human beings.
And you got the wildlife as well, haven't you, moving around?
Yeah.
Kind of. I suppose if you want to go and get yourself spooked, it'd be quite good. So I think we should all trek up to Pendle Hill one night and go on a hike.
Yeah. Can you remember that graveyard you and I went to a couple of years ago? Lydiate.
Oh,
yeah. And me and you swore we saw a figure move from one gravestone to another. I was scared that night.
That black thing moved, didn't it?
Yeah, I was scared that night. I admit it. But I think I was more scared because we kept hearing noises as well, didn't we? I think I was more scared at the thought, are there other human beings there who are going to physically harm us? It's more scared of the living than the dead, really.
Yeah. And I think you're right there, because in a previous job, I used to have to walk from one place across Anfield Cemetery up through Stanley Park to get up by Liverpool's ground. And people are like, what, you walk through Anfield Cemetery? I'm like, yeah. And like, doesn't it spook you? And I'm like, not really. The dead aren't going to hurt you, are they? It's all
it's the living.
It's the living that are going to hurt you. The dead might scare you, but they're not, unless there's something going on that we don't know about. It's very unlikely that they're going to hurt you or kill you, is it?
Yeah.
Did you ever come across anything in your job, John, what was weird or spooky? Any experiences?
I know someone scared themselves going into an abandoned pub one night. I think it was the Anfield Hotel. Someone it had been closed, and it wasn't particularly spooky. It was just how people can expect trouble, and then they see something and they automatically link it to it. He kind of like gone in, and behind the bar there was all the mirrors, where they'd had all the glasses and things like that. So he goes in and he saw himself in one mirror, and next thing he's like, there's someone here, and he goes and runs into the mirror, and he's like, oh, actually no, there's not. But nothing really. I mean, I've been to the hospital at Newsham Park quite a few times,
as when it was open. When
it had been closed.
Okay.
And there was, security were there because there was so much lead and stuff like that on the roofs. It was always being broken into, and so much copper around. I've been in and out of there, not doing ghosty things or anything like that, or paranormal. But you can certainly see how that place could get your head moving, though, because it's so big, and knowing what's happened there in the past and the things that the type of people that have been in there. But no, mate, nothing really.
I went to Newsham and I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing at all.
Well, I didn't get anything, as I say, paranormal or
The only thing that interested me at Newsham was when the group split up. I think there was like a nurses block or a nurses area which was like a separate block, and the people in this certain block all came out feeling sick, which I thought that was quite interesting. I remember our Tom going, and he felt really sick, and all the groups that went in there felt sick. Now, whether it was something environmental that was causing it, I wouldn't know. But I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah.
But as for activity, I didn't get anything, nothing at all. Because you've been Caroline, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've been once, twice?
I think I've been 3 times, maybe 4.
Did you get much, or apart from glass pushing and all that? I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Not that I can say was any kind of proof of paranormal. No. No. So you see, I went to Williamson's Tunnels with a group on Saturday evening, and they were doing the human pendulum. And they asked me if I wanted to do the human pendulum. And I just said, I'm sorry, I don't believe in it. And I don't.
What?
I don't believe that is a way that spirits communicate. It's everything, what they do and the way they do it, to me, is wrong. So when you go with a lot of groups to different places, they're doing experiments which don't mean anything to me.
No.
You know, the spirit board, for example.
Well, that's the problem. It's the trust as well, isn't it? You don't know these people. You don't know them.
It is a trust thing, yeah.
For me, you see, I know, like a lot of people say to me, oh, you don't use equipment, you don't use Ouija boards on investigations, you don't use EMF meters. But I just think it takes it away. I just think it takes the time away from an investigation.
Unfortunately, that's what a lot of people want to see, though, isn't it?
It is, but that's why I always say people who have asked to come on my investigation, I always say to them, we don't use equipment. It's a raw investigation. I'll always tell them first. But you're just wasting time. To me, you're wasting time. That's my theory.
You said something quite interesting, mate, when we did that Ouija board upstairs in the witch's room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we were doing, come on, do your thing and whatever. And yeah, it wasn't the ideal medium that we had to move around the board with.
Yeah, we're looking for anything, weren't we, to push?
I know. But it moved.
I mean, finger on. Sorry, not push.
I was going to say push.
Sorry.
It moved.
Yeah.
And then kind of like put it back in the centre, and then it moved again. And you went, this isn't possible. Unusual thing for you to say.
It was.
I wasn't doing anything. You weren't doing anything.
No, but I think it's one of them, isn't it? It was freezing cold for a start. And it wouldn't take much for your hands to move in the cold. It wouldn't, though, would it? And it didn't come out with anything, did it? The only interesting thing was that big flaming orb that come over my. And I said, "You're just got a shiver down my back." And as I said it, that big
orb came down, shot
which
you
you saw
head,
in the video, didn't you? Yeah, which I slowed down and blew up.
Yeah.
So how far did it move anyway?
Well, the interesting thing was, because it was this is what I found interesting anyway. I forget what we were using, John. A tea light candle.
It was the silver tray off a tea light, wasn't it?
That's silver tray of a tea light candle upside down, and we couldn't see the board, could we, John? We couldn't see it, could we? Because it was totally black. We just couldn't see anything on the board. And when we said, "Is there anybody here?" and it moved, and it went, didn't it? When we actually put the torch on, it was right on yes, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I didn't know where yes was on that board.
Well, I didn't. And it wasn't that sort of board, Caroline, where it's A, B, C, yes, no. It was like the S was in another part of the board, if you know what I mean.
So why are you dismissing that completely?
Because it's probably just coincidence, I think.
What, the fact it moved in the first place, let alone move to yes?
Yeah.
That's what I said. You said it's not possible. I quote you directly there when we put the torch on.
But nothing happened after it, did it? Nothing.
No, it didn't. It moved to a letter, didn't it? Did it move to, was it the A or the E?
I can't remember, to be honest.
Yeah, it moved to a letter.
So basically, Phil, you're saying that either you or John pushed it. That's what you're saying, aren't you?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is,
if you or John didn't push it, how did it move?
Maybe it's just involuntary movement because your hands were cold.
Right over to yes.
In pitch black.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been skeptical.
And you claim that you're on the fence.
I'm skeptical, I'll be honest. But I had no idea where yes was. I didn't. And it was kind of like a direct answer, wasn't it? You asked the question, is anybody else here? It's moving. It's not possible. It's not possible. stop.
So Phil,
Right on.
Phil, what is it going to take for you to believe in the paranormal then? Or do you think you'll never believe in it?
More than something being pushed around the table.
Oh, so it was pushed then. Either you or John pushed it.
Well, that's the only logical thing.
There you go. There you go. You are as bad as him. You know who him is.
What I'm saying to you is,
John.
no, but what I'm saying to you, it wasn't a glass.
I gathered.
No, John, it was. It was something so light, wasn't it? What we'd used. It was a tea light candle, which wouldn't have taken. You could have blown it, couldn't you? Let's be honest. You could have blown
it. Yeah, it wasn't the ideal thing to do it.
You're in a cold place. Your hands are freezing to death. It wouldn't take much for it to move, even if involuntary, even if you didn't mean that it was moving.
How many centimeters did it move?
Must have been about.
Don't drop me in.
About 4 or 5 inches, Caroline.
You are joking me, and that was involuntary.
I'd say 2.
It wasn't, mate. It was from the mid. That was a big board, wasn't it? It was a big glass board fixed down on top of a table. We started in the middle. We're on opposite sides of the table, Cam. Well, you'll have seen on the video.
Yeah.
We're on opposite sides of the table. I don't know. It was just your choice of words when you said it's not possible.
To me, I know when I am moving my body, when I am awake and conscious. So had I have been on that board and had I have been moving it, that my arm was getting more outstretched, I would have known that I was doing that. Had I have been pushing it with my finger, I would have known that I was doing that. And none of you two are admitting to have pushed it. So what happened?
I think we're getting shouted at, Phil.
Yeah. I'd say it was involuntary movement. But that's it. But it didn't come out with anything else afterwards. If it come out with more information.
No, is there somebody here? Yes.
We asked for the name, didn't we, John? We asked for a name.
Yeah. Like I say, it did go to a letter. I can't remember if it was the A or the E.
We asked, was it still there? Are you still here? And it didn't move after that, did it?
Obviously, it had gone because it was getting pissed off with the pair of you for not believing it.
Now we're getting
obviously, the spirit's like, well, I'm wasting my time here with these two. I might as well go. The spirit will be like, I can do that. And say boo, and they're still not going to believe I'm here.
Well, you make me out to be so cynical and skeptical, which I am skeptical, yeah, but I'm not a cynic. And if I didn't believe in any of this, why would I waste my time going on these things? If I didn't believe in any of it, or it could be quite possible, why would I bother? Seriously, why would I bother?
Just don't bother doing a spirit board ever again. Because you'd be wasting your time, Phil.
Probably would, yeah.
You could be on a spirit board yourself, and it could spell out your bloody anything about you, and you still say it was involuntary movement.
Is this a regular occurrence, Caroline? Is it when you've done spirit boards with them before?
Well, in the past, it's never moved, so.
Oh, right, okay.
No, but on a serious note here, I don't know how you feel about this. Like, I'm being totally serious now. It concerns me, Ouija boards, not because I think they're demonic, but all these groups that, especially public event companies who use them regularly on investigations, and they have all these people coming from the public who they don't really know. It bothers me sometimes for that certain person who maybe not, I don't know, who are scared in Ouija boards, who think they're demonic or whatever. And even if somebody's pushing that glass, the effect that board could have on that person when they leave that building, I think it's quite scary. I think it's quite concerning. I really do, honestly. It really bothers me.
Like closing doors behind you when you leave.
No, but I've known people, John, commit suicide over Ouija board. I have known the Ouija board affect somebody that much they've committed suicide. And if they're in that frame of mind that they believe in Ouija boards and they believe the demonic and they believe they totally believe in them. Even though I don't think there's anything demonic in them, I don't. But if you're that certain person and it affects you that way, I think it does concern me when they just anybody can go and do these Ouija boards and these event companies.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I think I can't remember. I think it was the very first time that I went with you was to the cinema in Blackpool, and then we'd done all our things, and it came to the end of the evening, and it kind of like you summed it all up at the end, Caroline. You said, "Thank you very much for your time. Please stay here. We don't." You almost like you close down the event afterwards. Does that make sense? Do you think that's an important thing to do?
Yeah, most definitely. Whether, to me, you need to cover all angles. You need to have the attitude that even if you don't believe in the paranormal and in ghosts and spirits, doesn't mean to say they definitely don't exist. So just to be on the safe side, I always think it's best to ground and protect. Whether it's it kind of like gives us some kind of sense of protection because it's what we believe in, or whether it's psychological, and like you say, you always have to close an investigation down, because again, whether you believe or not in the paranormal, I think it's something that's important to do, because it's like that closure you leave behind, anything that could be there, or even in the back of your mind, if you're worrying you're bringing something home with you, just having that closure, I think's really necessary.
We didn't do that, Phil. Maybe that's why we heard the noises before the Caroline.
But I think
it's the same with the spirit board.
With Caroline saying that, I think because to me and you, it doesn't really matter because we probably don't believe in it. I think what Caroline's trying to say, and forgive me if I'm wrong, it's for people who believe in that sort of thing, and it's a closure for them. Am I right, Caroline?
Do you understand even if you don't believe in it, doesn't mean to say it's not real and ghosts and spirits don't exist. So it's best to do it just be on the safe side.
Well, we didn't. Did we, John?
It's like there's etiquette regarding using the spirit board. If that etiquette isn't used, whether somebody believes in spirit board or not as a form of divination, it's always best to, respect it, isn't it? Really, just in case.
Oops.
Do you believe in the board, Caroline?
I've had experiences which I cannot explain.
Do you think that was spirit then? Yeah, obviously.
I think it was spirit because it couldn't have been anything else. What came on the board that night?
Well, maybe next time we go somewhere, it's just us. We'll take yours. We'll try it. What do you reckon, John?
Yeah, provided you close it down afterwards now.
That's a suggestion now. John's getting you.
Oh, no.
After what Caroline said, now you're going to crap yourself.
No, I'm not.
You should try it. We'll try it.
Next
time we go somewhere, we'll try it.
Okay.
Even if it's only for 20 minutes.
And I can spot a pusher a mile off.
I'll just film it. All right, I won't go on it.
Is that because you're the pusher?
No, because I can't get accused.
Yeah, I'd say I'll give anything a go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go, I'm afraid.
Yeah, same here. I'm knackered.
Yeah, me too. Oh well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll see you at the mansion, John.
Yeah, I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Hello.
You're going as well now, are you? Sorry.
Yeah, I'd already told you I was going.
Well, you hadn't decided properly, had you? Don't go down with a migraine.
I won't.
Oh, that's good.
He doesn't want me to stay overnight, just in case a member of my family needs me.
John,
Phil.
why are you on? What? If you want to, mate, it's entirely up to you, because I know you've been before. It's entirely up to you. What day are we going to? What's it? Derby.
What?
We're going back to Derby jail.
Oh, okay.
So it's up to you, mate. I know you've been before, so we don't want to go.
Well, let us know. I mean, it's just because nothing happened that time doesn't mean nothing can happen.
I just can't think of the date. Shall I have a look quick? Give me that. What do you know the date, Caroline?
It's the last Sunday in August.
Last Sunday in August.
Day before Bank Holiday Monday, I think.
Oh, if it's the day before a bank holiday, it'll be fine.
Yeah. So it's up to you, mate. What I've mentioned.
Yeah, no, definitely up for it.
There's only going to be the 5 of us, isn't there?
That's
Five.
the 28th.
I don't know. Has Gary put 2 down as well?
Not for Derby, no.
I don't know. I've not a clue.
Yeah, if it's a day before a bank holiday, definitely, yeah. I'm up for it.
Okay,
yeah.
I don't do that. I don't work bank holidays anymore. I've done all that.
Oh, well, nice speaking to you again.
Yeah.
Okie dokes.
You have to decide if you want to do another one, what you want to do the subject on.
Yeah.
Whose turn? It's my turn next, isn't it?
Yeah.
My turn to pick. That'll be interesting. Right, guys.
Right. Take it
I'm
easy.
I'm going to end this, and I'll speak to you all soon.
Yep.
Bye.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.